नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are reading from the book A Second Chance, where Ajamil, he got a second chance to rectify his mistakes and then go back to Godhead. So from the first chapter we are done with the first part. We are going to start with the second part. Second part's name is The Degradation of Modern Society. Here, the Srimad Bhagavatam says that the Brahmana Ajamil became attached to a prostitute and thus lost all his Brahmanical qualifications. He was a young man, about 20, when this happened. Because of his illicit association with the prostitute, Ajamil was forced to live by begging, borrowing, stealing, and gambling. Okay, this doesn't need explanation, it's very simple. That there was a Brahmana called Ajamil. Very young, he got into wrong association. And then when you get into wrong association, you need money. I mean, generally you need money to live, eat and drink and general life. But when you get into wrong association, you want more money. So that's why because he was Brahmana, he did not have other qualifications of getting a job in Makata factory or somewhere. He had to get into all these begging. Brahmana, first thing he'll resort to is begging, then he'll borrow, then he will steal to pay back the borrowing, and then gambling is the number one priority of any sinful guy. It is funny how in ISKCON we take 4 vows: no meat eating and no gambling. And we think gambling is only patta khelna and the spinning wheel and all. I didn't do some research. My guru's guru did research and he said, even watching games or taking part in games is gambling. Gambling means, simple term, taking side of one thing. So when you are watching any game, let it be cricket, let it be football, you have to take one side. You cannot be, I am watching cricket because I like cricket.
Yes.
Right, Manoj? You'll take Pakistan side, right? Which side will you take?
Always India.
If India is not playing, which side will you take?
Either of one.
So the point is, gambling doesn't only mean the cards or the roulette or the slot machine. It means just you take side. And you're not taking side because you know that such and such team is going to win. You just, you're just gambling that, okay, my team might win. So yes, and Ajamil resorted to all these things to live his life with his beloved society girl. These verses indicate how one becomes. This verse indicates how how degraded one becomes simply by indulging in illicit sex with a prostitute. Illicit sex is not possible with a chaste woman, but only with unchaste women. The more the society allows prostitution and illicit sex, the more impetus it gives to cheaters, thieves, plunderers, drunkards and gamblers. Therefore, we first advise all our disciples in the Krishna consciousness movement to avoid illicit sex, which is the beginning of all abominable life and which is followed by meat eating, gambling, intoxication, one after another. Of course, restraint is difficult, but it is quite possible if one fully surrenders to Krishna, since all abominable habits gradually become distasteful for a Krishna conscious person. Prabhupada has made the scriptures so easy for us to understand. There is nothing here to explain. It is, you read, you understand. Prabhupada is saying we are following these four regulative principles, of which no illicit sex is the topmost. Because once you get into illicit sex, then to maintain that you have to do the other 2-3 things. You have to start, begging, borrowing, stealing, and then naturally you get into, Prabhupada is saying, cheaters, thieves, plunderers, drunkards, and gamblers. This happens automatically. Lootne wala, lutera. So that's what happens if we don't control our one sense. But if we see the progression of that particular sense coming from the tongue, Rupa Goswami explains in the Nectar of Instruction that how the tongue, the stomach and the genital are in one line. So if we control the tongue, the rest two are automatically controlled. But the problem is we don't control. That's why if we see our Prasadam prayers, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prasadam prayers is not just saying, oh thank you God for the voodoo. Prasadam prayers, if you translate, if you read the translation, it says, Tar madhe jivayati lobha moyo sudurmati. That my dear Lord, this tongue is very voracious, uncontrollable. But you have given us this prasad, by which it will help us control this tongue, and then the rest of the other things can be controlled. So even the Prasadam prayers is scientific. It's not only that, my dear Lord, thank you for the food you give, thank you for the air. It's not only thank you, it's technically saying why thank you. Thank you because we cannot control the tongue, but you have given your mercy Prasadam, and therefore we are able to try to control. So everything is scientific in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada always called ISKCON temples as universities where we learn about God. It's not like just come ting ting and like how they say in Hindi or North Indian Hindi, matha teko. They just bow down in front of the Lord. No, it's not about bowing down. It's about learning whom you are bowing down to. Or oh, stones look so nice. The voodoo looks so nice. But Hare Krishna temple is not for matha teko only. It is to understand whom are we matha taking to. Somebody is one of our congregation, now they are not here, but they said, Prabhuji, ye kya patthar hi to hai. Small child said, Prabhuji, kya antar hai? What is the difference between stone and stone? I said, it's simple. Prabhupada said, what is the difference between the paper in your book and the paper in your father's purse? Tear both of them, throw them in the dustbin. Said, no, Prabhuji, with the note, the paper note, we can buy stuff. Exactly. That's the difference between that stone and this stone. This stone is being requested by the devotees to come and reside in this stone. So Lord is there. Lord is not in that stone which ISKCON is putting outside. A simple definition. We can go deep into it. It's a science. So Krishna consciousness is not only a Matha Teko temple, it is learn about Krishna. And Prabhupada is saying, by becoming Krishna consciousness, all abominable habits gradually become distasteful. You lose taste for gambling, you lose taste for drinking, you lose taste for smoking, you lose taste for all those things if we sincerely approach the holy name. The word sincere is very important. Or we can chant for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, still no difference. Chiskus, please read.
While in his time Ajamil was an exception, in the present age there are millions of Ajamils. But if illicit sex is allowed to increase, the entire society will be condemned, for it will be full of rogues, thieves, cheaters, and so forth.
Yes. Ajamil was during many thousands of years ago. So he was alone who became like this. But now we see everybody is doing everything. When I was new to Africa, I saw that I went to a job interview and I got selected to teach at a school. And then I'm seeing the 13-year-old girl is coming pregnant. I'm like, for me it was a shock. Then it was normal. So Prabhupada is saying the same thing, at the present day there are millions of Ajamils. Prostitution doesn't mean that, you got to go somewhere, pay somebody and do the thing. Prostitution means simple, unmarried, illicit connection. And that's what is happening everywhere. We all see here too. But then because we have to live in society, we don't point it out. But we should point it out in our mind and learn this something we should not do. They are doing, we can't help it. And if you say in this modern age, if you say something, then you become the villain. I'm scrolling reels, and there's this He-Man and skeleton guy is saying, remember! Yes? Just offering. There's this skeleton who says, remember! And then he says something and it's, until we meet again. And one of the things this remember guy is saying, remember, you are intentionally or unintentionally villain in somebody's life. Intentionally or unintentionally. You might not even know that guy is thinking that, you are villain in my life. And it makes sense. That's why, we don't speak out that, you are such and such. But we should see Jai Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sushan Prabhu ki Jai, Krishna Ram Bhagavan ki Jai. So we should not, if people are close to you, you can tell them that you are a rogue. But if they are not, we just see, listen, this guy is doing this, we should not do that. We should learn. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here, that if illicit sex is allowed, the entire society becomes problematic. Now there are children who don't even know who their parent is. What is the meaning of orphanage? Orphanage is Hindi term is Anath Ashram.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of Anath?
Who don't
Know who parents are. Where do these orphanages come from? Illicit sex. If somebody is having illicit connection, married and having a child, he's not going to throw that child in orphanage. So orphanage system is just to support illicit sex. There should be no orphanage system. But we are living in Kali Yuga, what to do? we say generally it's our mind which cheats us because we don't know Krishna conscious, because we don't know the Bhagavad Gita. We think, oh, what is the fault of the child? He's just born like this, parents left him. No, if you read the Gita, according to his karma, he will suffer. We are nobody to change his suffering by, providing him health facilities or whatever facilities. I'm not against anybody, I'm just saying, because we are in Agyan, that's why we say, oh, orphanage, very nice, we should feed in the orphanage, very nice, we should send clothes and toys and all. It's all very nice, because we get good karma and next lifetime we are enjoying in some heavenly planet. But the child is suffering because we are not letting the karma take its due course. He is born like that too because of his karma. Now we are providing him so much facilities, so his karma is held back. And when all these facilities will finish, karma will come with full force. And then he will suffer more. That's why we see these orphanage children, when they are children, they are nice and cute and they Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And they are prasadam, this, that. After 15, 16, 17, they are on the streets breaking in cars and stuff. Why? Because karma has hit more bad, because when he was supposed to suffer because of karma, he was in the orphanage, saving his karma for the future. So I'm not against anybody. Don't say that oh, Prabhu is against the orphanage people. I myself am distributing prasadam in the orphanage, which counts, because prasadam is not holding back their karma, it's erasing their karma, because it's godly food or heavenly, not heavenly, it's purified food. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, if illicit sex is allowed, then, and the fact that government is approving orphanages, which means they are approving illicit sex. If they wouldn't approve, then naturally, there was no system of throwing the baby away. We have 7 minutes, so let's go ahead. I don't want to speak more about orphanage, or else people here they'll stop they'll stop supporting the temple for orphanage. So I don't want to say anything more.
Yeah.
Let's
do their karmas. We do our good deed. Very good is their problem. We do our karmas.
Yes.
That's the problem.
You see, Sukhananda, what I was saying? Therefore, if we actually want to improve the world situation, we have to take to Krishna consciousness, as that gives the best service to human society, both materially and spiritually. Materially, we are giving spiritual food, we are giving them prasadam, we are giving them spiritual books, we are giving them spiritual knowledge, material. And spiritually, because they are having all these things, their karma is being erased slowly, they are being uplifted to whatever level they are in Krishna consciousness. So spiritually and materially we are helping. Whatever abominable characteristics we have developed, everybody has bad qualities. In Hindi, khud ko doodh se dhula mat samjho. Whatever abominable characteristics we have developed, we have only to take shelter of the process of bhakti yoga or devotional service. Devotional service is English for bhakti yoga, it's the same thing. In order to completely eradicate them, eradicate means remove. So everybody has bad qualities, and we generally see YouTube videos and we try to, okay, I'll follow this and I'll become a good person. But when you're trying to do that, then 10 other qualities are lined up. But when we are doing devotional service, automatically everything is going down slowly. Don't expect that, today I'm chanting Hare Krishna, tomorrow I'm a pure devotee, I have no problems. Problems will be there till we are in the material world. But Prabhupada is saying gradually it will go away. And somewhere in the Bhagavatam, I think 6th canto, it is mentioned how when one becomes a Vaishnava, one becomes a devotee, he gets all the good qualities of the demigods. So we don't have to externally work, okay, I have to be a good person. From tomorrow I'm going to be a good person. And I'm driving and then somebody cuts and automatically Sanskrit shlokas come out of my mouth. It happens. Because we are conditioned. Prabhupada is saying here from the beginning that if we actually want to improve, we should improve by becoming Krishna conscious. I am not saying, Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is saying because Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is. This chapter, whatever we are reading, is from the Bhagavad. So we are doing Bhagavad Katha. Bhagavad Katha doesn't mean I just speak nice stories and we go back and forget everything. Bhagavad Katha is to learn from the Bhagavad. That is the real Bhagavad Katha. We are not small children. It's story class, spiritual story class. It's not spiritual story class. Sorry. Let's finish this. Verse and then we will go ahead to do Aarti. Where am I? When we have developed so many anarthas or unwanted habits, the chief of which are meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex and gambling. Now, like how I explained, gambling is not only about tash khelna and roulette chalana and slot machine chalana. Similarly, these other ones are also very complicated. It's not a meat eating, oh, I'm not eating meat. Meat, fish, eggs, onion, garlic, 1, 2, 3, the whole list. Including fasting on Ekadashi. So everything is not only one word, but this is basic. But we can curb them by accepting principles of Bhakti Yoga. Curb means to reduce or to change, dovetail. By using principles of Bhakti Yoga as they are prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. बोले तो भागवतम और भागवत और गीता में जो कहा है वो करने से हमारी लाइफ सेट हो जाएंगी. चेंज कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. आप मकाटा में ही काम करने वाले हो. चेंज वो तो तुझे मंदिर में आने वाला है. बेहतर हो जाएगा. It will become better. Scarcely means rarely anyone who knows Vedic scriptures and therefore no one heeds their instructions, which means very few people know Vedic instructions or Vedic scriptures, and that's why nobody is following them, because those who know, they are like, hey, nobody's following, why am I following? Hey, nobody is following and they are not suffering. Why am I following and I am suffering? Because in the beginning it feels suffering, because when we see people are living such lives, whole friend circle is out watching FIFA World Cup and I'm stuck here chanting Hare Krishna. It feels like we are missing out. So then we don't want to do it. जय राधा गोपीनाथ की जय, बलभद्रा सुभद्रा सुदर्शन प्रभु की जय, कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय, महाप्रसाद की जय. So that's why nobody wants to follow. People would rather read all kinds of books by all kinds of rascals. Does not need translation or explanation. But the result of such books is to kill Krishna consciousness. I know one of my friends said, "Oh Prabhuji, you don't have a job, but but you are going to need money, so you should read books by Warren Buffett." You know Warren Buffett? He's the one who Make a Million. His first book was Make a Million. Trust me, it's not going to be true in Malawian economy, because he says you should save $1 every day. If a Malawian wants to save $1 every day, what is he going to eat? Or if you calculate and say, okay, I'll save 1 kwacha every day, by the end of a year you just have 350 kwacha. So it really doesn't translate to Malawian living, it's in general. So people are reading such kind of nonsense, and which is averse to Krishna consciousness, which kills Krishna consciousness, because then it gives you this idea, yes, I must work. When you have to work, you don't have time for Krishna. Ask anybody who has a job. I am not going to ask, because I have had a job and I know it's difficult. 16 माला डिफिकल्ट होता है जब जॉब होता है तब. 1 माला भी डिफिकल्ट होता है जॉब होता है. मेरे पास जॉब नहीं है, मैं 16 माला 64 माला कर सकता हूँ एकादशी के दिन. Nobody can stop me. But somebody who has a job, 16 माला दूर का बात है, वो हर एक माला हरे कृष्ण. हाँ वो यहाँ वो वहाँ पहुँचाना है तो प्लीज़ पहुँचा देना. हाँ भूलना मत, मैं आपको आधे घंटे बाद फ़ोन करता हूँ. हरे कृष्ण हाफ एन आवर. ओके, हाँ वो पहुँचा दिया क्या? There you go. There Krishna consciousness is gone. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada is so simple. Because Prabhupada's English is not American or US or UK English. It is simple Indian English. Everybody can. People would rather read all kinds of books by all kinds of rascals. I'll tell you afterwards. But the result of such books is to kill Krishna consciousness. All these books want to make you rich. There's a 5 AM club. पता है ऐसा book है 5 AM club. 5 बजे उठना है लेकिन जप नहीं करना है. मेडिटेट करना है कि मैं पैसे वाला कैसे हो जाऊं. How? So it's like that. It's very painful. Reading all kinds of books by all kinds of rascals. Rascal is Hindi word is behrupya. Who shows that he wants to help you but he wants to cheat you. Somebody's baby is crying. Yeah. So yes, I will stop here. I've offended the orphanage enough. I've offended all kinds of rascals and books, including Mr. Warren Buffett, etc. So please, I am not saying जॉब छोड़ दो और हरे कृष्णा जपिए, लेकिन जॉब करते करते हरे कृष्णा जपने के ये भी चलेगा. हरे कृष्णा हाँ वो पहुंचा देना वहाँ पे हरे कृष्णा. It's okay. You don't have to focus and chant. Focus and chant अपना वो लेवल है नहीं अभी तो आप, लेकिन चालू तो कहीं से करना है. You have to start somewhere. We will also know. I want to sit and chant and then only I will chant. You will never chant. Trust me. So for now, when you have time, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yes. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'll call you in half an hour. Hare Krishna. It's okay. कोई पाप नहीं है ये. Even Krishna understands that we are stupid. Trust me. I myself am stupid. Matemba has always proved me that I'm stupid. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.